Hello and welcome back to Jurassic Park Evolution, and we are picking up back in Jurassic Park Evolution 3 for our first video. This here is the island generator feature. I thought my first park should explore this feature because, well, it's kind of like the last big reveal about the game, I would say, was this island generator feature. It's pretty cool. I think they only announced it about a week before release, so that's what I'm doing. I'm going to give it a try. You guys know that I like to make my own area. I like to make my own maps, terraform a bunch, and then start playing. I'll show you some of the downsides, though, of the island generator is the boundary of the island is restricted essentially just to the land part. So there can't be any, inter-island lagoon if it happens to form some giant water body in the land. You can't just put animals in there or dinosaurs. So that is one downside. Of course, we're going to start with the guest center, the guest zone for our first episode, but I do plan on making it a double release. So, about half an hour after the first video releases, I'm going to release a second video, part 2. So look forward to that. I think it would be a nice thing to do for the first videos of the game. I should do that, where I release 2 videos in the first day. Besides, you want to see some dinosaurs anyways. You don't want to see just this guest zone for our first video. You don't want to wait an extra week for that, because by then it'll be 2 weeks since the game's been out and you won't have seen any dinosaurs. What to tell you? I think for this episode I'm really just going to tell you some things about the game. There are, as you can see, a lot of new terrain buttons. The scenery is all different. There are more paths now, tons of paths. One of my favorites, which I don't use in this video, but I think I'm going to be using a lot in other types of videos, will be the invisible path. So essentially people are just going to be walking on the ground. I think that's really cool. This is pretty cool. It actually flattens the ground so that your path can be smooth. So if you're going over rough terrain, it will actually smoothen it out for your path. That's super cool. Super cool feature. One downside you can see is that look how short the path is. In Jurassic World Evolution 2, I think you could make the path maximum like 5 times longer. Well, maybe 3 times longer when you're placing it down. But I find the path, it only goes a short distance before you have to essentially snap it. Another thing is this angle, what do you call it? The curve. The curved path feature. I find that it kind of snaps a little too much. So it wants to follow its line, and it just snaps way too hard if you don't follow it. So I wish that they'd make it a little more, I guess smooth would be a good word. There's some really cool features, though. Some things to get used to, like when you go down to the width in the adjust terrain and replace and overcrowding view, you want to press the R3 button. I'm playing on PlayStation 5, by the way, because that takes you right to the setting without removing you from that path, the selected path. So that's something to take note of. But I do like it because, well, in Jurassic World Evolution 2, I think we had, 4 paths to choose from? And now we have, 12? Here's something I don't like is that, well, I like the variety, but what I don't like is that the terrain deformation is a lot weaker in this game. It's like if there's even a little hill... What am I doing? Why am I showing you this? Oh yeah, I remember, because I want to match the style. So we're going with the Malta style for hotels. You'll see in Jurassic World Evolution 2, it would flatten a mountain to put a hotel down. Now, it can't even flatten like a little anthill. Look at this. You see, can't flatten, can't flatten, can't flatten, can't flatten. Why can't you flatten it? It's ridiculous. But I hope they maybe make the flattening a little bit stronger when you're placing down a building. Because Jurassic World Evolution 2, you could flatten a pretty sizable area. Now here in the props, some fountains are in the blueprints. Some fountains are in the prop area where the table and chair is down there. This is pretty cool. It's got a Tyrannosaurus or something statue here. Now I'm gonna try to do a ring and probably fail. In fact, I definitely fail. But this is sort of a learning experience as well. My first park, I'm not going for a amazing mega park because I know that I'm not going to do very well for my first park. This is more also just learning the mechanics, getting used to it, getting used to the props, locations, and everything. Now, I should tell you guys, or viewers, guys and girls, that I have decided not to make too much. I'm not going to be making my own buildings, and I'm not going to be downloading buildings from the editor or the mod hub, I'll tell you why, though, because I don't want you guys to think I'm a bad player, which I guess you can actually think that. It's okay. But one thing is that if you've been online and sort of taking part in the discussions online, you'll have seen that there is a complexity meter for console. And PlayStation 5 has the complexity meter as well, unfortunately, because that's console. But anyway, the big thing is that every building you put down, and every dinosaur you release, and every fence you put down adds complexity to the park. And when you get to 100% complexity, you are going to essentially be, soft-locked from further development. It does require a balance, I would say, a balance of buildings and dinosaurs, so buildings and enclosures. By the end of this episode, I'm already at 10% complexity, which is what I was sort of aiming for. I think what I wanted was about, 10% complexity per video or something, or per section, I guess would be a better word. Mainly, I want more dinosaurs in my park. Well, not more dinosaurs, but I do want there to be a good variety, so it's going to require some sacrifices, and the sacrifices are going to be complex buildings for me. Now, if you know me, then you're going to know that my favorite thing in the world is table and chairs. I love table and chairs outside of restaurants. I can have hundreds of table and chairs in my park. Hundreds, easily. Here's a cool feature we're going to do right now, though. Waterfall. If you don't know how to do waterfalls. Number 1, a water body at the top of a hill. Number 2, water body at the bottom. And number 3, adjust your slope to maximum. And that will make it so that there is no slope. Waterfalls need it to be pretty much flat. So if you have maximum intensity slope, then the water bodies will push up against each other and a waterfall will form. That's pretty cool. It took me a little while to figure it out. I think that they could have made that a little easier to understand. Waterfalls are a little bit limited, but with some creativity, I think you can make it look good. So we're going to make this a nice little hidden area for our guests. What else to tell you? So complexity meter. There's a setting in your settings, and in gameplay, I believe it's a second from the bottom is the complexity meter. It will show it on your pause screen. So when you press the start button, in the bottom right hand corner you will see your complexity meter. I don't believe natural objects really contribute, but I don't know because I'm only just starting to play. But from what I've gathered, natural objects don't seem to have a big effect. It's mainly buildings that I see. Some buildings have more than others, but for me though, it's not a big problem. I don't mind because we can do smaller parks if we need to. We can do smaller parks and more parks. I don't mind having more parks. And instead of a series being 7 or 10 parts long, we would do a series that's just 5 parts long. And then we would start a new series. I don't mind doing that. Of course, it's a bit frustrating, but here's the deluxe content, by the way. These are really cool. I really think this is super sweet. If you're doing like a capital city sort of thing, you can have these amazing deluxe fountains and statues. I think that's so cool. Like white marble. If I was doing a Rome park, that would be cool. So we're gonna do a couple more hotels over here. Which is cool. We're gonna try and line them up. Now, in order to rotate, there's kind of like snap rotate, and then there's free rotate. So you have to hold the square button, and you have to use your thumbstick to rotate. I think that's kind of new. I can't say I really like it, though, but it's okay. Here we're going to try something a little different. Nope. And also, demolish mode is the same, but it's weird. Now there's a group demolish, which is new for me. But yeah, for some people, they're going to want the refund for the complexity meter. I'm fine with it. I mean, we'll see. Maybe the PS6 launch, it'll be like how PS5 and PS4 were different for Jurassic World Evolution 2. Maybe PS6 will be different for Jurassic World Evolution 3. Maybe there will be no complexity meter for PS6. And that'll be cool. You know, I didn't get PS5 for a while. But I think I'll get PS6 pretty quick. After it releases, you know, when the buggy systems are sort of dissipated, and then I'll get one of those other systems. So here in the props section, there are more fountains. Again, there are so many props, guys. I'm not going to be using half of these. Seriously, I hate to say it, but I'm not going to be doing that. I just think, you know, I'm on console. This is not really a console-friendly feature. For a dummy like me, I prefer things to just be pre-built. So, that's what I'm doing. just simple stuff. I don't need it to be too complicated or too beautiful or too complex would be it. Now over here we're going to be making a plaza area where people can dine on tables and chairs. I'm still going to be doing tables and chairs. Sugar theory. I like the new signs. I haven't tried to see if I can change them yet to all coffee. By the end of this little series I'm doing, this is like the introductory series, I am going to have, I'd say, explored enough of the game. Not explored enough of the game, but of the features where I can say that I'm comfortable with it. Now, in this park here, or at least this episode, but maybe this entire park I'm building, I'm really interested in the water feature. I think the water looks very good here. Definitely different from Jurassic World Evolution 2. So I am going to be enjoying it. Now we have deep water as well. Deep water acts as a natural barrier for some dinosaurs. Other dinosaurs can swim. So if you have, I guess, a herbivore enclosure on one side of the water, the deep water, and then you have like a Spinosaurus on the other side, it might actually just swim across and eat those herbivores because the herbivores are trapped. For the environment, so far, well, I'm playing on this tropical island sort of thing, so the plants are limited, I guess. In Jurassic World Evolution 2, different biomes had different plant selection, and that was cool. I don't know if it's the same in this, it must be, but you remember some of these guys are just the plants you always see, but this is one of my favorites is the ginkgo. It's a great little tree, very versatile, so I'm going to be adding that in. One thing again, I just keep going to the complexity meter thing, but honestly, after this video, I'm probably going to stop, at least after this series. This little introductory park building series, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. At least I hope I'm not. But for the most part, I think for many of my future parks, I am going to be making it, well, I guess less developed, more natural. So there's going to be less buildings, more dinosaur enclosures, and plants. Now it sort of fits my style in a way because when I do my series, which are generally called the Jurassic Experience, the idea is that these parks are built by maybe not necessarily a corporation. It's kind of like a mix between Disneyland and a zoo. Countries and cities and what have you, they don't need to coordinate on what a zoo looks like. It's really just up to them what a zoo looks like. So the Jurassic Experience is kind of the same. It's supposed to be a spectacular experience, but at the end of the day, it's limited by the country or by the city. It's what's their budget, what's their ability to make a zoo. You've seen zoos that look like kind of bad, so it's different. I've seen good zoos, I've seen bad zoos. So Jurassic Experience is the same. I've seen, or there will be places where the budget is like, why do you even have dinosaurs? It's animal abuse. And other places are going to be spectacular, amazing. And we're going to just try and build a bit of everything. I am going to explore the complexity meter to its conclusion, basically. We are going to do a 100% complexity park. Rest assured, that will be done. And it's going to be really cool. But for some parks, it is going to be, well, less complex. Maybe it'll be 100% complexity, but the complexity is spread out over a large area. So maybe a 100% complexity park won't look too complex because the park is gigantic and very big. And then we'll have smaller parks that are 100% complexity. They're going to be very dense. They're going to be full of stuff. This is a really cool plant. I love this one, the flowering shrubs. Oh boy, Frontier, you've done a good thing for me here. I love the flowers. They're so beautiful. Honestly, I'm going to be abusing this. I'm going to be abusing it. I love those little flowers. The flowering shrubs in Jurassic World Evolution 2, which actually there were none, but it was basically just those purple guys, those purple plants, and they were very, very sparse. I wouldn't call that a flowering brush, a flower brush. This is flowers. This is beautiful. Imagine all the bees and butterflies. Wow, this would be absolutely gorgeous. Just going through that flower field. So I'm going to be abusing this now for a little while. There is a rock brush. It is not called the rock brush. It's called like the arid boulder waste brush. So that's what it is. So if you want rocks, it's called the arid boulder waste brush or something like that. The boulder waste, I think, is its name. Yeah. So now we've moved on. We're a little further down the path here. You see, I didn't pause it, but I was just checking my complexity. I'm sorry. I could show you that feature in the future. I don't want to show you my start screen too much, though, because that's not content. So we're adding another eatery and whatever that is, a drink place. I love the names, so I'm going to be exploring them in the future. And the paths. So we got 4, 8, 12, 16, 17 paths. That's great. So this is further down the park. A little bit of a walk for the guests, but yeah. Adding in a few of these buildings just to sort of mix things up. I don't want it to just be boring in a sense, so I am going to be mixing in some, what would be the word? Park buildings? Operational buildings, I guess would be the word. I should hydrate. One thing that I don't know, do I like it or not? I'd say there was more variety, or at least it seemed like there was a little more variety for these operational buildings in Jurassic World Evolution 2 compared to 3 so far, as I know. In Jurassic World Evolution 2, you had different variants of these sort of buildings. You had Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, you had Din. I think you had Din. You had, Malta, you had Biosyn, you had a few variants. But in this, it seems like it's just Jurassic World and Jurassic Park. And maybe one other. I don't know. I might be wrong on that, but it just doesn't feel quite as full. The smoothing brush really does good. But just like Jurassic World Evolution 2, you can smoothen your water away. Here I'm just trying some paint we have that ugly thing in the middle. So here we're going to create a sort of, well, driveway for our paleomedical vehicle. So this is pretty... No, I don't like that. That's ugly. Rock. That looks pretty good. What's, I guess that's good. I like rock because it's a mix of, I guess, dirt and rock. And we'll get some flowers on the side. But yeah, I'm pleased with the game. I haven't had any game crashes so far. It's actually pretty smooth, I would say. I played a bit of the campaign. The campaign is way longer in Jurassic World Evolution 3 compared to 2. In Jurassic World Evolution 2, the campaign was basically a tutorial. In Jurassic World Evolution 2, though, they had chaos theory, and they do not have chaos theory in Jurassic World Evolution 3. But the campaign is kind of like the chaos theory as well. It's its own thing, you know? It's its own thing. Which is cool, you know? Now the campaign actually, what is it like? I don't know. Why do I keep talking about Anno? But it's like Anno in a way, where you have different parks that you manage.
Go, I suppose.
It has different parks for you to manage. And once you get out of the campaign part, or not the campaign part, sorry, the tutorial part of the campaign, then you are going to essentially have an Anno experience where you switch back and forth between your parks. And one park can have an emergency when the other park doesn't, you know. So here we have the rock brush. This brush has a little too much mud. Do I like that? I don't think I like that. Do I like that? I guess I like that. And now we're doing the final touches, which is the lamps. I didn't realize the video was over already. One thing you should notice is that the lamps here have a line to surface function. You should turn that on. This is, it lets you essentially, if you are doing some complex buildings, maybe you could put a lamp on top of a building, I guess. And so it gives you the freedom to change its position. But for a guy like me, I just need to align it to the surface. You see here, now I'm screwing up. Oh man, this is annoying. So I'm just going to keep that basically switched on, the align to surface, because I'm going to screw it up too much. But I guess that's pretty cool. You see here, this guy's floating. And now I have to figure it out. So that's our video, basically. Jurassic World Evolution 3. This will be my starter park. That's what I'm going to call it, my starter park. I think it's pretty cool, though. You see, it's a lot less dense. My Jurassic World Evolution 2, my visitor hub area is usually really dense. It's full of shops. But this, I'm going for a little bit more of an open feeling. But, you know, as I said earlier, I am going to release a second Jurassic World Evolution 3 video right after this. So, I look forward to seeing you in that video. Hopefully, you enjoy it. We're going to start with dinosaurs. We're going to, episode 2 is going to be dinosaurs. So, I hope you like it. We'll see what sort of things they've changed, you know, male and female, babies.
We're gonna have babies. There's gonna be all sorts of little baby dinos. You know, all sorts of babies running around. Gonna be a very kid-friendly environment.
The petting zoo, by the way, that'll be cool. Petting zoo, it allows for only a few adult dinosaurs and mostly babies, so we'll integrate. See you there. See you soon.